Welcome to your October Elemental Tarot reading. In this video, I'll be covering the energies for air, water, earth, and fire signs, so you can see what's coming up for you in October. My name is Jay, and I'm your reader for today. On this channel, I do tarot deck reviews, readings, and practical advice on how to read tarot. Be mindful that this is a video based on your sun sign, so take what resonates and leave the rest. There is a timestamp in description of the video, so you can jump right into your elemental group, or you can watch the whole video if you are curious. Let's begin with the fire signs. This pilot reading is for the signs of Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. And I'll be using a tableau spread with 3 columns. And the first column is your inner world, your energies and desires. The second is the core, and the last one is the external influences, people or the environment. Just get the 10th card here. It looks like you're going to have an interesting month ahead. My fire signs. So the overall energy is an 8 of Swords. And it looks like you may be feeling a little bit blindsided and trapped. And the important thing is to remember that you're not actually trapped. The whole thing is a mind trick. The Suit of Swords is your thoughts, your ideas, and your communication. And this is telling me that you actually do have a knowledge how to get out of this predicament, because there's a body of water right in front of you, and that is your intuition. If you follow that, you can find your way out, because you do know the truth. You know the way out if you just follow your gut, follow your instincts. And the core energy of October is also a challenging one. This one is telling me that there are wins this month, but you need to be careful on how you approach it, because not goals don't really justify a way of achieving them if it's not going to bring you a victory that you are proud of, a victory that doesn't ring hollow. This card is telling me that while you got other things happening for you in October, you should not look at cutting corners. Let's start with your inner world here. There's been some battles happening for you, or it's going to be happening in the first midweek of October. And the battle is primarily with others who want your place. They want where you are. They want you to pretty much fail, or give them the spot you got yourself. Whatever that thing is. It could be that you worked on an idea and you need to push it further, but you feel in resistance. This is to do with the project, if it's work or the business or something that you involve with passionately, like a hobby. And the idea here, while you defending your right to continue with this, is to keep the balance, is to find a way how to fight off those who doubt that you can achieve this while being able to execute, right? And it's primarily a mental game for you here. And a good thing is that you've got the Sun card here, and Sun is one of the most positive cards in tarot. It reveals the truth. It brings you the joy and happiness. And what's this telling me? The fight that you're going to be involved with is the one that you're going to win. And the way of getting there is to keep your mind in balance. When you're fighting your battles, remember what your goal is. And the other thing to remember is not to betray your moral standards, your ethical ideas, to play fairly. That's what it's telling me. And don't be concerned with not getting what you want out of this by not cutting corners, because this is telling me here that whatever you're aiming for, there's a happiness at the end of this journey, and this is probably more towards the end of October. Let's have a look at your core energies. So Ace of Pentacles, a new beginnings is an opportunity for you to build some material wealth or strong foundation of something material, right? It normally relates to money or inheritance, wealth, that sort of thing. And as I mentioned, while you're going to get this opportunity, and it's a beautiful thing, you're going to have it for you, you need to be remembering that you can't cut corners with this. You maybe need to find a way to be crafty without crossing other people, basically, because this person on the card, he's stealing a whole bunch of swords from someone, right? Sneakily running away rather than getting the swords the other way. Now there's another Seven of Pentacles here. It's interesting that you have two sevens here, which tell me that the solution to get where you want financially isn't to cut corners, but to work hard, to put time in. So you may not be able to get whatever you want through sneakily quick way by cheating someone or breaking some rules, but it is what the card is telling me. It's done through perseverance, through patience, through hard work, and it will work out. If you see here, we got two very positive cards, the Sun and Pentacles, right? And it's telling me that this whatever you're working on, it's financially motivated, or it's some kind of a wealth situation. Now, from the external energies, it's telling me that there's potentially a scenario where you need to be considering walking away from something that no longer serving you, and it looks like you're likely to be pushed in that direction. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because overall reading that I'm looking at is positive. Yes, you have some challenges here with feeling blindsided and temptation to cut some corners to get what you want, but at the same time, it is a positive read with some of the most positive cards being here, the Sun. And this is interesting how you got the Temperance and the Justice card sitting on the same level here. It looks like your ability to find balance while you're working with all these complexities will pay off. This is telling me that whatever situation is happening here and you've been pushed away to walk away from something that is no longer works for you, there's justice in that. The truth will come out, and there's a fairness in this. And interestingly enough, you have also a Hierophant. So it's also telling me that whatever justice is going to happen there, the balance that will be restored, it'll be done in an old traditional way. If this to me speaks some kind of working with some I want to say legal, but it's a general reading. So I'm going to say there's some traditional systems in place, whether it's, if you're studying, it could be a university principal, or you're working with administration of some kind. But this is telling me that you need to go through the proper process here to get where you want to be. Not cutting corners, trusting the system, and keeping your mental game intact, maintaining that balance. Overall, I think it's a challenging month, but at the same time, there's something to be gained there with the new material wealth opportunities coming your way. The Sun card been here, rewarding you at the end of this journey with the Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles being there, indicating that there is some material wealth coming your way, and this is something that you worked on quite hard by the looks of it here. And if there were some challenges there with someone potentially pushing you to walk away from something. It's not something you want to be around of anyway. And if you follow the processes and people in place and the structures that are there to help you, it will lead to a successful outcome. Let's get a clarifier card for the core card. I'm curious about that, and see if we can get even a better picture for you. Signs of fire. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. That's exactly what I can see here. The balance I was referring to. So you need to find a way to fight your battles without compromising your integrity. And integrity not necessarily, being a good citizen, good parent, and other things, but also balance your internal world with everything that's happening around you. And this could also be relating to you needing to walk away from stuff that doesn't work for you. A personal issue reaches resolution card here, and I think this is related to this. And I can see as well there's something interesting happening with the Justice and Hierophant, and it looks like whatever you've been working on and battling on, it's going to come to a completion. Let's do one more. And the answers you need are coming. So overall, I think this confirms what we looked at in the spread. You need to maintain your balance, stay positive and hopeful. And whatever answers you're looking for, October is the month. Right, in this part, we're going to look at the earth signs. Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And again, we're going to be doing tableau style reading with 3 columns. The inner world, your ideas, desires, and thoughts. The core, so knowledge and learning and experiences for the month of October. And the last one is external influences, and that can involve people or just your environment. So overall energy for the month of October is the Justice card. So it's telling me that this truth is going to come out, or is going to be some kind of a win for you happening. The balance will be restored. And it's interesting because you have the Sun card here as well. And the core of this read is the 6 of Cups, which to me is telling that in October there's a desire for you to go back to how things were in the past. Maybe even reconnecting with your family, some kind of reunion. And let's have a look at your inner world. So it seems like you'll be ready in October to walk away from something that's no longer serving you. And to get there, you really need to make a decision. And it wouldn't be an easy one for you, but I can tell you that you're capable of making that decision. You've got all the knowledge and experience to do that. And the main thing is that you also have the emotional stability, and you'll be able to influence others with whatever decision you're going to make. This is what the inner energies and thoughts and ideas are telling me here. Now for the learnings in the core stuff, there's a lot happening. It looks like there'll be some challenges coming your way, but there's also a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. So there's something coming to an end, and an abrupt end, right? And something that's been bothering you. Perhaps this is something that you're ready to walk away from. And it's not going to be easy, but the good thing is it's been draining you for quite some time, and it's a good thing that it's coming to an end. But at the same time, there is some positive elements here. So it looks like by finishing this cycle, you'll be reuniting with someone that you've known for a very long time. And maybe that walking away that you prepared for is walking away to something that you are familiar with. And it feels like to me that whatever situation has been happening here, it's worn you out quite a bit. But the main thing, if you look at this person here, they haven't given up, and they're still standing strong. So it's telling me that this is a positive change, even though it may be unpleasant and abrupt, because it's going to bring you to something much more positive. And the way I can tell you that, look at the external environment here. First of all, you're going to be sitting on a very strong foundation as a motherly figure, or the environment around you will be very fertile, and it looks like this bit of a material welfare and reconnecting with your true nature, whatever that means in this context. And remember, this is a generalized reading, so it's difficult to say the specific context, but it's more of the energies that you're bringing into the month of October. And you also have the sun here, and this is really three really positive cards that you see. There's a lot of motherly, it's like natural type of energy happening here. The Empress represents a mother in tarot deck, but it's not necessarily a motherly figure. It could be also the environment that allows you to flourish. And it's interesting enough, you've got both the Queen of Pentacles. You can say it's sort of almost like a sister, or very closely connected to the Empress card, because it connects to the material world, to wealth, to nature, to everything that we see around us, and the world around us. And you also have the Sun card, one of the most positive cards in the tarot. Whenever you see that, it basically makes everything brighter. It's a happiness card, but not happiness in a sense that, just sort of short-lived, a jolt of joy, but this is going back to the innocence of a child. And I like this here because the Justice and the Sun card both speaks of truth coming out, right? And in this case, this truth will bring a lot of positivity to your month of October. So overall, looking at this, the decision that you'll be making to walk away from something, while it will be difficult for you, it's coming back to something you're very familiar with. It's some kind of a reunion. And I can see here, while it's been a difficult path for you to come in here, you're going to go for this. You're going to be okay. It seems that you are emotionally stable, and if you already are, that's great. If not, you definitely get in there, probably towards the end of October, mid-end of October. And whatever decision you're going to make, that is going to bring this lasting happiness, and the environment that brings you joy, keeps you grounded, and allows you for further growth. Let's get a couple of clarifier cards to get more just detail on this whole situation, because it's quite interesting. And I hope October brings you the joy and resolution of whatever it is that you've been dealing with, because the cards definitely suggest that there's a breakthrough there. All right, let's get one of the clarifiers for the core. So you can see it here. Your commitment is being tested, and that's exactly what I can see here. Being prepared to walk away, and to if something is not working for you, because you've got true convictions on what this should be like. Perhaps you're walking away from something that isn't the way it should be. And the testing here is this Nine of Wands. I can see the challenges that you've been dealing with. What else can we know about this? The answers you need are coming. Interesting. So that's in the fire spread, we had a similar combination. The answers card with the sun card. And also you got a justice card here. And sun is the light of the sun brings truth to light. And I think this is well connected here. The sun and the justice card. We'll do one more. Have faith in your dreams. I think it's also quite aligned with this, that to make that decision, you really need to trust your gut here. And whatever it is that you dreamed of, the external environment is definitely inviting you to trust your dreams and follow with them and follow your heart. It's quite an interesting read. I hope you enjoyed this, and we're going to move to the air signs now. I hope your September has been really good and October is even better. I'm hoping that we're going to get some good cards for you for the month of October. And I'm doing a tableau read with inner core knowledge and energies in the middle. Your the core, the knowledge and the experiences here in the middle. The internal world, your desires, your thoughts, ideas in the left column, and the external environment in the right column here. So the overall energy or ambient energy for the month of October is the Ace of Wands, and it looks like there are some new passionate projects, ideas. If you are in business, that potentially can also be the case, are coming your way as long as you're open to them. And the core energy is the Five of Wands. It correlates quite well with the overall energy. It looks like there will be plenty of ideas and also some contestants that will be coming to argue with you whether your idea is better and perhaps maybe trying to get your attention here, right? And as you can see here, there's a whole bunch of people fighting with each other, and what they're holding there is wands, and wands don't represent actual weapon here. It's something that this group of people is passionate about. So they all share the common idea that they want to achieve something, and they have different ideas how to get there. But if you find out that they actually are wearing similar clothes, you know, some of them wear the same shirt colors and some wear the same color pants. And the idea there that they're not your enemies. They're people who are also passionate about this thing. They truly believe that what they're suggesting is going to work. And you just need to figure out how to make this to work to your advantage. Let's look at your inner world here. So it seems to me that you are going to be arriving in the sense that you want to help others and want to be fair to others as well. And there seems to be this happening. The core of this is your really strong connection with someone. Now, it's also possible that you may need to decide which way you need to go here, because I see the Lovers and the Chariot card, and the Lovers card in this version of the deck, Rider-Waite-Smith, is the connection with someone. But then also there's another interpretation of it, is that the Lovers card is a choice. It can be a choice between choosing a spiritual pursuit or choosing something material, or it could be decision that you need to make. And I can see here that you have a Chariot card, interestingly enough. So to me, Lovers card here isn't necessarily a connection, it's choosing the right connection. And that's what probably going to dominate your mind through the month of October, probably from the middle towards the end, looking at this here. Now, the core message here, the learning and lessons. I can see that you definitely have some passionate project happening here, or something you really care about, whether it's your work or maybe it's a hobby or idea, because you got October will be rich with those ideas. And you also have the passionate energy of the Knight of Wands here, who really wants to take charge, and he doesn't want to stop. And you got a whole bunch of people who also want to compete with you with getting the right idea, or perhaps achieving what you want through those. And the lesson there is that you need to choose your battles wisely. This card here, the Eight of Cups, a person walks away from something that no longer serves them. So when you deal with this in the month of October, pay attention to what you actually truly care about, in the sense that, is it fulfilling you emotionally? Is this something that you just want to get because you have a fire in you? Or is this something that would also satisfy or complete your emotional needs? Will it give you the emotional fulfillment that you're looking for? And if it's not, perhaps this is not the battle you want to be involved with. It needs to be another way of getting there. And maybe chasing whatever you're chasing isn't going to get you what you want, because at the end of the day, happiness isn't what we come up with or we chased up. It's something that we're deeply connected with. And that's what the Eight of Cups is telling me here. Now, external environment, it looks like there's a lot of work happening around you, and it's been taking some time. It seems that it's connected to your personal wealth. So it's whether the environment has been very fertile and you worked hard to achieve something here, or it could be that you were given opportunities to do the work. There'll be the first week of towards mid of October, and I can see here that this will progress to you, or to someone helping you to get to that stable financial and wealth material environment, where you have food on your plate, you get a shelter, and also it's a connection with your nature. The path here wouldn't be easy. It looks like you have to let go of some ideas, and this potentially may not be up to you. This is going to be because it's an external environment. For me, it seems that it's almost like a Tower card, the Tower card, where something that's been bugging you for some time and been weighing you down is going to come to an abrupt end. And don't think of it as necessarily something dramatic, in a sense that it's what you see on this picture here. It isn't, because the swords represent communication, thoughts, ideas, and whatever will be happening here, it's related to that. But good thing with the Ten of Swords, tens are a completion of a cycle. This is something coming to an end, and whatever has been bugging you for a very long time and it weighed you and everything, it's going to come to an end. You're not going to like the experience, unfortunately, but the good thing is the only way from here is way up. And that's what the Queen of Pentacles is telling me. So whatever we've been working here really hard, there will be end of a cycle within that. Get into a very stable foundational place where you're going to be feeling grounded, feeling that you get enough, having the protection of your home, having enough wealth and resources to fall back on, feeling quite secure. Let's get a clarifier card, because I'm curious about this here, and Five of Wands. It looks like this battle I'm referring to is coming here, and it's going to be your ability to walk away from it. Let me just get the clarifier on that and see. A new start is coming. Yeah, so that's exactly what I thought. So I think this is related to the Ace of Wands, the new beginning, and you cannot start something new often without finishing something old, and I think this is what this card is telling me here. So yeah, interesting month ahead for you, the air signs, but there's a lot of positivity here, with clear indication that there is some material wealth coming your way. And I can see 3 Pentacle cards here. You do have a right frame of mind here, that you're capable to make decisions, and it looks like you got some good choices to choose from. It isn't choosing between bad and worse. It's actually where they're going with your potentially material or spiritual pursuits, right? And here it indicates me that you're probably going to be leaning towards more material, based on how many pentacles we have in this reading. Hope you enjoyed your week so far, and October brings you all the positivity that you can think of, water signs. And in this reading, I'll be using the tableau spread if you haven't seen the previous parts. And we have your core learnings and energies. In the left side, we have your inner world, desires, thoughts, ideas. And on the right, we have your external environment, either people or just environment in general. Starting with the overall ambient energy for the month, you got the Four of Cups. And it's an interesting card. It looks like you may be at a place where you feel a little bit complacent, perhaps, and potentially maybe not seeing opportunities that are coming your way. So something to be mindful of. The core energy for the month is the King of Swords, and King of Swords is an interesting interesting character, quite unique in a way. This is a person who cuts through for the cloud and uncertainty and leads with the clarity, the good clear communication. Is a direct person. But also there's another side with the King of Swords, is that they are quite often emotionally absent. They use a lot of logic for their decisions. And this is also a downside of the King of Swords. So overall energy for the month, the ambient energy, is the Four of Cups. And this card indicates a few things. In general sense, is someone who is feeling a little bit apathetic and maybe complacent, to a point where they are quite bored, but they don't want to change anything, and they're not open to new opportunities that the universe may be giving you. And it's something to be mindful of. At the core, we got the King of Swords, and King of Swords is a very strategic and decisive leader, someone who speaks clearly and cuts through BS. There is a downside of a King of Swords, though, that they quite often are emotionally detached because they prefer logic over emotion, and something to be aware of. It's quite an interesting combination. So overall, there may be a sense of complacency, but at the same time, it seems to me that you want to cut through all the stuff. If you are in a situation where you feel a little bit lethargic and not willing to take an action, it looks like you do want to take an action, and maybe environment isn't helping you. If it's the job that you've been doing for a while, you want to change, but it's not really helping you, or perhaps there are some other factors that are influencing overall. But at the core, you want to change. At the core, you want to cut through all the ambiguity and get straight to the point. The inner energies. It's interesting because you have the Emperor and the King of Swords, and Emperor is sort of a composite image of kings in this deck, and I find it quite curious that you have two of these cards, and it just confirms that there is a desire in you, and it's happening in October, to be that strong, charismatic, very steady leader who isn't just sitting on the throne, but he's also ready to go into action. You see, the Emperor here wears armor, and he's not shy of taking action. He isn't just sitting there in a chair relaxing. He's contemplating his move, and I think this is where this King of Sword energy coming into play. And it looks like there will be some passionate battles happening around you, whether you're going to be involved with them or whether you are leading those people, whether it's maybe if you don't have a work where you lead people, maybe it's your family, or perhaps you just leading yourself. Maybe you have competing thoughts and ideas, and you really want to take charge of that, and you want to take control. And it also looks to me that there is a real happiness coming your way, or at least happiness not in a material sense, but more of the state of accomplishment, the state of peace, the state of emotional fulfillment here. So it's a beautiful card to have, the Ten of Cups. As you see, there's a family there dancing with joy with a rainbow above their heads, and there's a completion of a cycle. So it's quite an interesting card. I think the Emperor here is related to a family or people that are close to you, and perhaps this is you taking control over maybe some inner conflicts, so you can get to a place of the emotional fulfillment. The inner core lessons and learnings in October. There's going to be a bit of uncertainty coming your way, and I think this is where desire from the King of Swords to cut through all the fluff and see the truth, or finding out how to get to something faster. That's where it's coming from. I think you're going to start your month with a bit of a ambiguity. And the good thing about the moon sign, while it may be ambiguous and uncertain, there's a path through, right? So as long as you stay the course and not get swayed by distracting forces looking like they may potentially hurt you, which is not going to happen here, you will get out of this water and you make your way through. And there's also a lesson at the end of it too, right? So this is a definitely a path to spiritual growth. And I think the king here wants to get rid of this darkness and ambiguity and wants to cut through and get there faster. And so the Ace of Cups is often a marriage or proposal card, marriage proposal. But this is a general reading. I'm not talking about specific situations. So in this case, I would say the Ace of Cups here represents to me a new emotional connection. And perhaps this is what the core energy is about, cutting through all the unnecessary fluff to get to this emotional connection. And it's interesting enough, you have the 3 water cards at the bottom here. So towards the end of the month, there's going to be some serious emotional connection and accomplishment happening for you, water signs. And I find it quite interesting because I'm also a water sign, and I'm basically doing a reading for myself here. And if you look at these 3 cards, internally you get the emotional accomplishment. There is a opportunity for a new emotional connection, or in some specific scenarios, so it could be something romantic. This 3 Cups card towards the end of the month is telling me that there's going to be a lot happening for you emotionally. And there's definitely a sign of emotional fulfillment at the end with the 10 of Cups and your wish becoming true. And also, well, in this scenario, I would say potential emotional connection, or maybe taking your relationship or connection with someone to the next level. Looking at the external energies, this is quite interesting as well, because I can see these 2 cards here, the Strength and the Chariot. If you are an emotional person, or there's a lot of stuff happening in your life, the Strength is telling me, card here is telling me that you need to be aware of your emotions and being able to control them, but in a way that you do it in a nurturing way, not trying to suppress them, not trying to deny that you feel them, but being able to acknowledge that you have these emotions and being able to work with yourself from a place of care, rather than trying to deny whatever you're feeling, and being able to do it from a position of strength. Talking about how you feel, expressing your emotions, isn't a sign of weakness. And this card here, if you look at it, it's showing a person who is holding a lion's mouth, basically. And lion isn't a little cat. You know, this animal can really cause harm. And what it represents here is this person is able to take care of themselves, take care of the emotional side from a place of kindness. He isn't a person who is chasing the lion with a stick or trying to threaten them in whatever ways. They gently calming them down by holding their mouth, right? And it's also interesting that this corresponds with the Chariot card. And Chariot card is someone who is on a fork. There's a crossroad, and they need to make a decision whether to go left or right, whether to make one of these decisions that can change a direction of a life in a different way. And they're not bad and good decisions, they're just different. And you need to figure out how to get there. So from the external environment here, what it's telling me is that they may potentially be tested, your emotional side, and you need to be able to be honest with yourself and see what is it that you're experiencing, and being able to share that. You acknowledge it if you just talking to yourself, and being able to take care of yourself rather than trying to push yourself to do something you don't like. And I think this is where the Chariot card comes in. If you figure out what is it that you care about, making the decision will be fairly easy, because you do know what it is that you want. If you don't suppress your desires, and you don't basically silence yourself from telling you what it is that you want. And at the end of this experience here, and this is towards the end of October, I can see that whatever you wished for is coming true. And I can't really tell you what it is because this is a general reading, but this card is traditionally called the wish card, right? There's a couple of things that also to be aware of. The Nine of Cups, while this person got everything they want, may be a little bit uncomfortable with what they got. And I think this is where you need to be careful. If this is what you actually want, right? So when you make that decision where you want to go, you need to be connected to your emotions and to your intuition, or pretty much look at how you want to be fulfilled emotionally, rather than just make a decision based on pure logic, I would say, or whatever the King of Swords wants to do here. He needs to be in connection with his heart to get where he wants. And I think there are a lot of interesting things happening here. So yeah, overall, quite an interesting read. Let's get a clarifier card, because I'm curious about this emotional situation here. We'll just do a clarifier for that. And also I'm curious about this connection here. What is happening with the King of Swords and the Strength? And how can this decision be made? Let's start with the bottom row. Just going to choose randomly card here and have faith in your dreams. Yeah, so whatever dreams you have, and which can potentially be a challenging dream, it's something you thought that you couldn't achieve, because dreams, in a way, is something that is difficult for us to get. If you have that faith and you follow through, this is where you're gonna get, all right? And let's do another clarifier on the King of Swords and this part here, and how it's all connected to emotions. Believe in the impossible. That is very interesting. We have pretty much two similar cards. So yeah, what I see here is that while maintaining your composure, the structure, I think you need to be also aware of what is it that you want. Because the King of Swords thinks with logic. He wants to cut through all the unnecessary things. But emotional fulfillment doesn't necessarily come from logic, or it doesn't come from logic, because it's completely different things. So you need to find this balance between how to achieve your goals and be structural and logical in your approach, while achieving this sense of emotional satisfaction, fulfillment. And I think what's really telling us, if you believed in something and you really want it to happen, the King of Swords can help you to get there. But you need to be aware that you need to be connected with yourself. You cannot be hard on yourself with whatever you're going through. You need to be honest with yourself so you can get to the Ten of Cups and Nine of Cups, and new emotional beginnings. I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you all the best for the month of October.